First things first, I am not an expert in Mesoamerican history, and this is not an examination of the history of the Aztecs or other neighbouring cultures and civilizations. What I am doing here is examining a subgenre within the horror genre itself. And this is not how the subject relates to history or politics or any other issue you can think of that is joined with it. Good. Now that we have that out of the way, the other bit of housekeeping are spoiler alerts. I will be giving away the plots to the films under discussion. The first movie we're going to look at is the 1990s cult horror classic action comedy of Dusk Until Dawn. Here, just over the US-Mexico border, truckers are lured into a strip club to be predated on by shape-shifting supernatural vampires. Though the origins of these vampires is attributed to the Aztec-era mythological beings, they are much more akin to the 19th century Western definition of vampires. So, loosely speaking, Aztec mythology is used as a source of origin for the common popular zeitgeist view of vampires. So, for example, the vampires, they have fangs, they turn into bats, and they explode when touched by sunlight. The bloodlust of the vampires is overtly joined with the bloodlust of the former Aztec priesthood in being one and the same. The blood given to the gods as sustenance is the same as the blood taken by the creatures to feed themselves. It is hinted in the movie that the Aztec priests and the vampires were the same organization because they're running out of the same building, namely the apex of a temple pyramid. There's also the overt sexual and hedonistic themes on display here, which could also link back to the trope of the wild, sexy pagan peoples, the primitive tribalists, prior to their Christianization and reception of the civilizing conquistadors. You can also say that it suggests that the original Aztec religion was false, in that the supernatural vampire beings presented themselves as priests, as intermediaries to the gods, as a ruse to receive human sacrifices for their own sustenance. The next film is called The Ruins. Here, a group of American tourists are surrounded and trapped in an Aztec pyramid, or there might be Maya, I'm not sure, only to learn that the temple is the dwelling place of a slow-moving carnivorous plant species. Again, we see the same theme of the bloodlust of the temple being applied to the bloodlust of the fictitious plant species. The armed locals who prevent their escape are actually justified in keeping them trapped there as a means of quarantine. We see the same motif again, in that the Aztec temple is regarded as a place of pure evil, where the evil still lingers, controlled but not destroyed. We also have the presentation of the same idea of the foreigners, the Americans, being the one who not only disturb the ancient evil, but are responsible for negating it in some way. The next film is part of the VHS series, VHS 1985, and this is one story from the anthology found in that film. A TV studio in Mexico City is hit by an earthquake, and the survivors try and escape. They accidentally stumble into a cave system where an Aztec god, presumably the god of death, has been waiting and has revived from his slumber, taking human hearts and supplicants as he had in elder times. Once more, the old gods are not gone, but have been built over and remain waiting for the time to re-emerge. It is also implied that the earthquake itself may have been supernatural in origin. Lastly, we have the film No One Gets Out Alive. This details a haunted Aztec artifact as a doorway for a goddess, creature or entity to emerge from in order to receive her victims as sacrifice. Interestingly, she rewards her human attenders with regenerative health effects. Here, a bedsit in an unnamed American city is used as cover for this human sacrifice operation. So what do we think about all this? This Aztec horror subgenre? Well, to me, in horror movie language, they seem to use the Aztec religion as the grounding for the ultimate evil of the movie. An evil that has not been destroyed, but formed a underlayer or a strata within the psyche of the cultures who were related to the Aztecs, which still exists underneath, but can also break up into the modern world. There is also a suggestion of some kind of apologistic view of the ancient Aztec religion, in that the Aztec elites weren't really that bad. They had been instead corrupted by evil beings, and that the Aztec religion was a front for these demonic supernatural forces. There is also the notion that in appeasement and atonement for this ancient evil, that the locals have some kind of remaining obligation to repress and restrain these evil forces. This touches on ideas of collective racial guilt and historical trauma and inherited trauma and guilt, in that the modern Mesoamerican peoples have this subterranean aspect of their psyche still active in their minds today. Once again, I don't agree with this. I'm just talking about what these movies suggest. Be that right or wrong, inaccurate or true. I'm just saying what I see. And then, of course, the flip side to this is that the ancient evil has been controlled or oppressed by the introduction of Christianity and the conversion of the New World into various colonial territories. And lastly, you could argue it's rather exploitative, because it's using the real world horror from history of the mass human sacrifice rituals of the various Mesoamerican cultures, and then bolting onto that whatever cheap Hollywood piece of entertainment that you want to create, with the utilization of actual history forming some sort of marketing gimmick, or appealing to the popular notion that the Aztecs, the Aztec priestly elites, were ultra-violent, sadist, mass murderers. So there we go. Thoughts in the comments. It's just something I thought would be interesting. Thanks a lot.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It's a small thing, but it really helps us out. Also, if you'd like to help us in a one-off and easy way, you can buy us a coffee at the link below. Thank you.